One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart steel and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and earth, the thunderous roar. Insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he pays his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Day by day, mother truckers. Hey, we are here on a thirsty Thursday morning. Good to see everyone, man. Hopefully you're all enjoying your morning. We've got a lot of kind of shit going on, as you guys can always tell that I bring the best of what's happening. Well, actually, it's the worst of the worst usually around the world, but the craziest topics that are happening around the world. We have 60 dead, unfortunately, in Iraq mall fire. Then we also have multiple detained by ICE in Pennsylvania, and Trump fires back at supporters. So that's what I have it labeled today. But we have a lot of shit that I can't just list everything on the title. Maureen Comey, fired by Justice Department, worked on the Diddy and Epstein cases, as well as, like I was telling you guys, how Trump blasts back at supporters, questioning the case regarding Jeffrey Epstein hoax, as well as Secretary Rubio. I guess the actual report is Israel's strike on Syria, likely a misunderstanding.
It's not the cap.
Okay, and then over there in Pennsylvania, it says, it didn't tell me exactly the amount, but multiple detained in ICE raid at Pennsylvania supermarket. And then last but not least, we have lightning strike at New Jersey archery range, leaves one dead, multiple injured. So, damn, that's insane. And I saw that on social media this morning on Instagram, and I was like, oh, fuck, that's a little wild. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into all that, make sure you guys hit the like button. It helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. If you guys are new to the channel, man, hit that subscribe because it's also free. Please consider becoming a member, however, starting at $2.99 a month. This allows us to speak the way that we do. We don't ever have to do any type of shocking content for views and get paid. We're 100% funded by you guys in the Breakfast Club, so I very much appreciate your guys' support in that regard. All your support is all appreciated, by the way. Little side note, follow my Instagram right here at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, and breaking news. We were breaking news regarding Syria yesterday. My post, unfortunately, got taken down like 4 times when I was trying to upload it, and I had to do a whole bunch of shit to not get the copyright. Al Jazeera was actually the ones that were doing the copyright strike on my posts on Instagram. So very interesting. I'm sure they just want to sell make money off of their footage, right? Last but not least, okay, every super chat, super sticker, gifted membership signups, all of these things are, of course, going to be brought up and presented live onto the show and shouted out. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your guys' hard-earned cash, well, guess what? We have these platforms that will be scrolling for the remainder of the show, and I have my phone right here ready to go on the email. So if anyone sends in anything, I'll see it right away. So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to everyone. We got Papa Penguin in the building, but he does unfortunately have some work to do. Let me talk to the boss, cuz. Let me talk to him. This is not, we shouldn't allow this. We got Naomi in the building. Good morning to you. We got brother Steve Easy as well. We got Charles, always saying, no Lucy, no like, man. He's so funny with that shit, man. We got Mount High as well, saying like button and left-handed tobacco all around. Yes, sir, and likes from Mike. Very much appreciate that. We've got our left-handed tobacco ready to rock and roll, all ready to go. You know the deal. We also have we got Lappy up in the building as well. Good morning to you, kind sir. Good to see you, as well as Brother Dwayne. Good morning, good morning. All right, we're scrolling on our way down. We got Brother Hardwire as well as Brother Beezer. Good to see you guys. Frederick Frame, good morning, kind sir. Good to see you. And chatting with Stacks, my man, good to see you as well. Gary, good morning, good morning. Happy, what do we call it? Thirsty Thursday? That's right. That's what we call it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get right into it. We've got, I believe, 6 of these stories to run through and a lot of information to get through here.
And welcome back here. It's live now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Some breaking news to report to you out of New York City. Live picture there over at New York Harbor. You can see there the Statue of Liberty live picture. I want to put this up, a headline there.
Who gives a shit? No, I'm just kidding.
The New York Post. Take a look at this. Maureen Comey, the daughter of the ex-FBI director James Comey, has been fired from the U.S. Attorney's Office there.
Oh, shit. Maureen Comey, been fired by the Justice Department.
In the Southern District of New York. Remember, she just worked on the Diddy trial. She also has worked on the Epstein case.
That's right, Carney's right. He knows the deal. Much love, honor, respect to you, kind sir. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning as well. Good to see you, as well as I caught your show for a little bit this morning in your panel. We got Joseph up there, our favorite snow Mexican, up there in Canada, saying, good morning, Mr. Ball, Lucy, Breakfast Crew, Bob, Mr. Stacks, and can't forget the haters. Stop the cat.
Stop the cat.
Yes, sir. Good to see you as well, my man.
The Associated Press has it as follows, that the DOJ has fired Maureen Comey. Now, she is the daughter, like I said, of James Comey. She was a prosecutor in the federal cases against Sean Diddy Combs and Jeffrey Epstein. That's according to 2 people familiar with the matter telling the AP that today. There was no specific reason, though, given for her firing from the...
What's up, Jason? And they didn't give a reasoning for the firing? They just did it? Cap. I mean, you know that there is a reason. They're just not going to say...
Telling the AP that today. There was no specific reason, though, given for her firing from the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York. Now, her termination comes shortly after she prosecuted Combs, who was acquitted of sex trafficking and...
Steve Posey, my man, good morning to you, kind sir. If you guys could guess, what do you think that she ended up getting let go for? What do you think she got fired for? Because even the Associated Press, they're like, we don't have any information on that. So... we got Robert Demita as well. Good morning to you, kind sir.
Hearing charges. The rapper was convicted of those lesser prostitution-related offenses. Remember, he'll be sentenced in October.
My man.
Now, the DOJ recently appeared to acknowledge the existence of an investigation into James Comey, though the basis for that inquiry is unclear. Remember, he was abruptly fired by President Trump in Trump's first term in 2017. So, this might be news to you. Maybe you don't even know. James Comey has a daughter who worked in the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York on very high-profile cases, like the Sean Diddy Combs case, like the Epstein saga. So she was an assistant prosecutor there in the office. Remember, that was one of the offices...
Well, don't go against the motherfucker. Then,
most costly prosecutions.
I hear it.
And they, according to our legal experts, really came up short. This was a very expensive prosecution.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that are, well, I mean, look at the Republicans. I mean, they're at fault right now for hiding shit from the American people. You know, that's some bullshit.
He did not get a conviction on the most serious charges for Diddy. Remember those charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. He was acquitted on those charges, though Diddy, remember, was convicted of lesser prostitution-related offenses. Damn. So, Maureen Comey worked on
You lost your water heater, AC, and freezer all at the same time? They all took a shit on you, dude? Oh, that's terrible. Sorry to hear that, man. That's, when it rains, it pours. You know what I mean? We got, Prez, my man, good to see you as well. And one thing I did want to say is my dad has always said this to me, and it seems to ring true. Everything comes in sets of 3s, especially when it rains like that, man. So, feels ultra
case, if you were following our coverage of the Diddy trial, and we had that static shot, that camera angle, that vantage point outside the doors of the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan, you would, from time to time, when court was over for the day, see the prosecutors walk out and go home. I remember watching live, seeing Maureen Comey walk out with some of her colleagues after Trial was done for the day. Now, the Associated Press has it as follows. There was no specific reason given for her firing. So the AP and others will have to do some more reporting on that, on whether or not this was, warranted or cause. What? Why was she fired?
So I guess we will find out. Maybe, maybe not. I guess that's just the way that the Justice Department is going to leave it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move on into the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, as Trump calls it. Trump blasts supporters questioning the case. Shit. But before we do, you know what I mean? Before we do, just saying.
Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate some freaking.
Yeah, it's funny. Brother Steve, he says, I can picture my little buddy running while you chase him because we're talking about Gizmo that did a jailbreak this morning. And yes, I watched that little fucker take off for real. And she was running as fast as she could. So feels ultra bad. On an early thing to do in the morning, man. That's rough. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move on into the next ordeal with Trump. Let's bring it up.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. In the meantime here, do have to follow up still, as we have been over the last several days, on the internal fights playing out amongst supporters and allies of President Trump over Jeffrey Epstein here. Well, Fox News' chief White House correspondent, Mike Emanuel, has a look at that very fight. Let's watch.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
I have not seen this.
Yeah, I would.
That was.
Oh yeah. Okay. I thought that was brand new footage of. Okay, so that was way back when.
Candidate Trump a year ago on the push for the FBI to release classified info in its investigation into the late accused sex trafficker.
Oh, you went back on his word? Shit.
Jeffrey Epstein. Now President Trump is pushing people to move on, including those in his own party.
But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring.
What are you talking? Boring. Why would anyone be interested in a governmental cover-up? A lot of the times, it doesn't even come down to now people are super interested in the Epstein bullshit. I mean, that's always been a thing. But now people are more interested in the fact that now the government's trying to cover it up. Now that's going to, unfortunately, people are going to raise havoc until this fucking happens. He needs to shift his gear here, and unfortunately he's got himself pretty fucking deep, huh?
Boring stuff.
He's dead. He's gone.
Pretty boring stuff. Shit. A lot of L takes here.
The Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff.
He's dead. He's gone. And all it is certain Republicans got duped by the Democrats. And
what's up, Kitty? Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you.
Playbook.
But the president's change of tune is now threatening to fracture part of his MAGA base. Trump taking to Truth Social Wednesday, labeling those still talking about it his, quote, past supporters. A DOJ memo last week insisted there was no evidence that Epstein maintained a list of influential clients. That didn't sit well with those who've long alleged the government is hiding something.
Release the Epstein files, am I right?
Yeah. The push for more transparency is gaining steam on Capitol Hill, with the House Speaker weighing in Wednesday.
You need to have all of the credible information released for the American people to make their decision. We trust the American people, and I know the president does as well.
So far, President Trump has deferred to Attorney General Pam Bondi on what, if any, information to release. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
Yeah, this is rough. Definitely rough.
Let's bring into the conversation our friend there, politics editor at the Washington Monthly, Bill Scher. He joins me. Bill, good to see you here. So first off, let's go back to 2015, 2016. Donald Trump said on the campaign trail at that time, he could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue, shoot someone dead, he wouldn't lose any support. He's losing support now over the Epstein.
That's true.
Saga here. Is Teflon Don wearing thin, Bill?
Good question.
Well, this is the one development that does seem to really weaken the MAGA coalition. There's always times where his support has waned in the sort of center-right folks. But MAGA folks seem to be truly upset about this, at least some.
I hate when they say MAGA. MAGA. You mean MAGA?
And I think that's because conspiracy theorizing has been a crucial ingredient to holding the MAGA coalition together. It helps Trump portray himself as outside of the establishment. I'm someone who's going to infiltrate the establishment. I'm going to expose the secrets. I'm not going to be kowtowed or co-opted by the deep
Yeah, and then ironically becoming part of the deep state.
state. And the clip that you showed beforehand where he said, when he was asked if he'd release the Epstein files, and he said, yeah, I would.
Brother KP, good morning, kind sir. Good call out. That's exactly what I'm going to start lighting up right now.
That's how that segment aired when it first aired in June during the campaign. But he actually said some stuff afterwards that hedged. He said, I guess I would. I think that less so compared to other conspiracy theories he was asked about, JFK and 9/11. I think that less so because you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there. Because it's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would. Or at least, I don't know about Epstein as much as I do the others. Something about the way he died. Be interesting to find out what happened there, because that was a weird situation. The cameras didn't have to be working, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I'd go a long way toward that one. So it's a bit of a word salad. But he had a hesitation from the jump that was not widely understood and accepted by hardcore MAGA people. They expected the full Epstein file. Pam Bondi and Kash Patel indicated they were going to get it over the last 4 months, and now they're not. And this really unsettles folks who thought, hey, I thought you, Donald Trump, were going to reveal the conspiracies.
Right.
And now you're going to be part of the conspiracy. That doesn't sit well with them.
Yeah,
Right.
Bill, I want to kind of highlight that point here. Trump
I got to
is
agree with Bill over here.
becoming in the middle of all of this. What his supporters and acolytes, to what they say and what they claim, are trying to fight. The alleged deep state, the cabal of big government, the elites. And because Donald Trump has been so recalcitrant about this and hesitant to go any further, it's almost as if he's now become part of the conspiracy, or at least he's now the central character, because he wants this to go away and he doesn't want to release anything else. Now his supporters think he's in on it.
And I think to the point.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, we're speculating here, but it's very suspicious to be saying, like, we're going to put this out and then go back on your word and then say, no, we're not giving any information out. That's like, of course, going to be suspicious.
Tried to allude to earlier, Trump has always said, if we're going back to the first campaign, that his supporters would stick with him no matter what, with the Fifth Avenue shooting hypothetical as an example. And he's been proven right on that point time and time again. So you can understand why he thinks he could do it one more time and just tell his people to
Right. Well, I mean, not invincible forever. No one's bulletproof. And I mean, even Trump can tell you that.
shut up and move on. There's nothing to see here. And what we've gotten back anecdotally so far is that this time is different. This is not like the others, because they thought they were on the same page, that there is a Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy and Donald Trump was going to be the guy to reveal it. And if he's not revealing it, why is that the case? Now, I don't want to act like I'm a conspiracy theorist here. I'm not suggesting that there's an actual cover-up involved, but I do think that's why you're seeing this severe agita amongst those in MAGA world.
So, before I can ask this question, I have to ask the first question, because I wanted to ask you.
I do agree with that aspect, where if there wasn't a quote-unquote cover-up, I really wouldn't give a rat's ass about spending a whole bunch of time, resources into digging that up necessarily. I mean, we look at the landscape that we're in right now. But when the government, anytime the government starts covering up shit, that's when people are just going to be like, hey, we're not cool with that. And we saw it. We saw an active cover up. That's the only issue. It's not necessarily even who Epstein is and the accusations. It's now the government saying, we're not going to tell you what happened here.
Why wouldn't he release?
I thought we were all about transparency.
Everything. But then I have to ask this. What is there to release? Everyone is
good
talking
rest,
about
Carney.
more
We'll
files. Some are under seal, as we know, to protect some of the victims in the case. We know Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving a 20-year prison sentence, she's trying to get her conviction appealed. That's one of the reasons here. Also, we also heard from Pam Bondi last week and Kash Patel.
Exactly 100%, by the way, Hardwire. He says no matter how much he upsets people, he isn't running for president again, so he doesn't care. Yes, you're correct. He doesn't have to cater to his base audience, his core audience, or his voters. He doesn't have to necessarily cater to that anymore, because any politician in politics is always doing every decision, every word that comes out of their mouth is to get reelected. Can't get reelected. So this is over. He doesn't have to answer to nobody, his supporters, meaning, now he only has to answer to the government and his people. and the deep state, right? We got Mr. Mister, by the way, up in the building saying several right-wing influencers have been exposed after backstabbing the movement. Apparently, Benny Johnson used to work for Vice. I'm glad this stuff is happening so we can fix things proper. I agree with you, and that's wild, man. We got Gunpowder Nitro in the building as well. Good to see you as well. And most of Congress are in on the tapes. I don't know. I mean, it's all kind of speculation.
No client list to speak of here. So what do they want released?
It's always the problem with conspiracy theories. How do you disprove the negative? I mean, I don't know what's there. We don't
right, exactly. And that's how conspiracy theories become conspiracy theories, is a lack of information from the government. That's it. Lack of information from the government is why conspiracy theories are a thing.
Have an inventory of what items have been held back. I think Alan Dershowitz, who was Epstein's lawyer, suggested in a Wall Street Journal column what he says is there.
Okay, so I have that. I have that column in front of me. I want to read that. That's part of the column here in the Wall Street Journal. You just alluded to it.
Real quick, we got Naomi coming in with the 5 spot, making a rain on us, saying donate. How about you donate some effing money? Hey, thank you so much for making it rain on us. That's right. I appreciate that. Listen. I can't thank each and every one of you guys that, contribute to the channel, whether that's hitting the like button, being engaged in the chat with the topics that we're talking about and presenting, and also sending in hard cash, man. That's how we keep this thing rolling.
Alan Dershowitz penned it. He said, quote, "I was Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer. I know the facts, some of which I can't disclose because it is privileged or subject to court-imposed sealing orders. But what I can disclose makes several important things clear." He says this, first off, Epstein never created a client list. He said the FBI interviewed alleged victims who named several clients. These names...
We got to give it out real quick. Carney's Ride letting us know we got 33 in here. We got 35 likes. That's a major W for the Breakfast Club already. I appreciate you guys, man.
...have been redacted. They should be disclosed, but the courts have ordered them sealed. Dershowitz says, "I know who they are." He says they do not include any current office holders. Now that goes to the question, Bill, that just because a name is redacted or in some unsealed filing, that's guilt by association. That's not guilt in the court of law, is it? If you had any affiliation with Epstein, you went to a dinner party with him, maybe you were on his plane, maybe you went to his island, maybe you met him once. That seems to kind of...
Yeah, that still doesn't show any guilt there.
The scope, the continuum of the Epstein relationships that so many people are seeking.
It would be understandable, if politically uncomfortable, to say there are people who were named in the course of the investigation by potential witnesses, and it would not be appropriate to release those names because we don't have enough evidence to indict them. It would give a veneer of guilt unfairly in the court of public opinion, and as a matter of principle...
The only thing that I would support is protecting the victims. That's it. Aside from that, let out the information, man.
In law enforcement, you don't drag people's names through the mud unless you have all the evidence and you're ready to prosecute. But saying as much would feed the conspiracy beast that you're hiding something. But that would at least be a principled, I think, commonplace reason not to release names. But Donald Trump, is not capable of laying out the facts fully in transparency like that, because again, it would be hard to then. It wouldn't stop Bill from talking and spitting out further theories.
Yeah, Dershowitz goes on to say as well, it's clear from the evidence Epstein committed suicide. Dershowitz says what isn't clear is
how is it clear?
He was assisted by jail personnel. He says that seems likely to me based on the evidence of allegedly broken cameras, the transfer of his cellmate, and the absence of guards during relevant time periods. He then goes on to say this other conspiracy theory, this kind of side conspiracy theory, he refutes it thus. He says, "I have absolutely no doubt that Epstein never worked for any intelligence agency." He also goes on to say conspiracy stories attract readers, viewers, and listeners. They're also fodder for political attacks. He says the Epstein case has generated more than its share of such theories, and there's nothing more annoying to gossip mongers than when stubborn facts or the absence of facts get in the way of a juicy theory here. How does this end, Bill?
I mean, I'm not sure it does.
I think the way that this ends is that Trump and his administration is going to double down. They're not going to release any of this information. And there's going to be a fuck ton of pushback along the way. He's already receiving it, as you guys see. Even, right here at this channel, I'm critical of anybody that is going against their own word, especially if you give a promise out. You can't give out empty promises, man. It's just an unfortunate situation, and there's going to be a lot of pushback from the media as well as influencers, everybody that's on social media. It's going to be pressure, and that's a rough road to take. So anyways, let's go ahead and move on into now, because he's going to speculate on that answer, by the way. So we're going to move on here real quick. We got Project VOPod, my man. We got Jake in the building. Very much appreciate you hanging out with us, kind sir. Hopefully you're enjoying your thirsty Thursday morning. So real quick, now we're going to move on into our next section, man. We've got Marco Rubio. Israel's strike on Syria, quote, likely a misunderstanding. Okay, so we're gonna get into why would he say that? It's supposed a ceasefire violation according to the IDF yesterday. So what's the misunderstanding?
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Now on to the conflict in the Middle East. We have a live picture there in southern Israel, looking into the Gaza Strip. Well, not too far from there, Syrian government officials and leaders in the Druze religious minority announced a renewed ceasefire today after days of clashes that have threatened to unravel the country's post-war political transition and draw military intervention by powerful neighbor Israel. Well, Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent.
Real quick before he gets into it, we got Bob up there from Canada. Good to see you, my man. As well as Extra Surprise. Good to see you as well, man.
Trey Yinks with more details.
Explosions echo across the Syrian skyline.
This was the exact thing I was trying to post yesterday on Instagram, and Al Jazeera had copywritten it. So, anyways.
More details.
That's the exact clip.
Explosions echo across the Syrian skyline as Israeli jets bomb military headquarters in Damascus. The strikes come in response to violence erupting against the Druze people in the Swayda province.
My brothers, the Druze citizens of Israel, the situation in Swida, the situation in southwestern Syria is very serious. The IDF is operating. The Air Force is operating. Other forces are operating. We are acting to save our Druze brothers and to eliminate the regime's gangs.
Israel's prime minister speaking directly to Israeli Druze, who called on the IDF to take action in Syria after videos circulated of gunmen cutting the mustaches of Druze men and executing others. Hundreds of Israeli Druze crossed the border into southern Syria.
Yep, and this is not the only video. There's a lot of angles of them filming them jumping this exact border right here.
Over the past...
not that... There's multiple, I believe, breaches.
24 hours to help their communities fight Bedouin tribes who are backed by the Syrian government.
We feel very weak because we see our brothers, families, our home and people being killed there for no reason, only because they are Druze, just because they want to preserve their dignity, honor, and land.
The Syrian government, led by President Ahmed al-Shara, saying in a statement, quote, the Syrian state condemns the violations against our people in Swayda and pledges to hold those responsible accountable. Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke about the escalating violence and possibility of a ceasefire.
We're going to be working on that issue as we speak. I just got off the phone with relevant parties. We're very concerned about it, and hopefully we'll have some updates later today for you. But we're very concerned about it. We want it to stop.
Reports tonight indicate that a ceasefire was reached to end
the
violence in southern Syria, but past efforts have failed. In Tel Aviv, Trey Yinks, Fox News.
Great, thanks so much. More, though, from Secretary Rubio on X saying this: we have engaged all the parties involved in the clashes in Syria. We have agreed on specific steps that will bring this troubling and horrifying situation to an end tonight. This will require all parties to deliver on the commitments that they have made, and this is what we fully expect them to do here. Let's bring into the conversation some of our friends and colleagues there at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, including their analyst Hussein Abdul Hussein. He joins me. Hussein, thanks for being with us here. I have to ask first, is this a new front in the Middle East conflict that you and I have discussed so many countless times here? How did this spring up today, or has it been brewing?
This has happened before, at least once or twice.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever get on camera, just so you guys know, don't ever try to use your AirPods as your microphone. Just an FYI. It's the worst. You're way better off by taking that earpiece off and just using your normal phone speakers. Anyways, just a little FYI
there.
2
months back. The reason is mainly because Damascus is not really behaving like a government. It's behaving like a bunch of militias, unorderly from
Me
time
neither,
to time.
Steve.
They go on tribal raids against neighborhoods, such as what they've been doing with
That's another
with the Druze
angle of.
What is that? Where do they live? How long have they been there? Who are they?
The Druze is an offshoot of Islam. They've been living in this land nonstop for the past 1,000 years at least. They are very indigenous, very native, and they usually pledge allegiance to the governments where they live. So the Druze of Israel are loyal Israeli citizens, and the Druze of Syria have been loyal to the Syrian state since Syria was founded and got its independence in the 1940s. So these people going to Druze...
Honestly, Mr. I have no idea why he would say likely a misunderstanding. I don't understand why he would say that.
Towns and villages not in charge, then the ceasefire wouldn't make sense, because the signatories on the ceasefire are the Druze and the government. So when the government signed on the ceasefire, they not only stopped shooting, they're also withdrawing out of Druze territory.
Did you guys see that? That's wild. Look at that flag. There's holes all in this motherfucker and a huge tear in the middle. That's radical.
They not only stopped shooting.
Wow. That's pretty hardcore.
They also go to any Islamist neighborhoods or threaten anyone.
Okay, so we actually have something going on live. This is pertinent to the story we're telling right now. Take a look at this. This is live right now in Damascus, and that is the Syrian leader, al-Shura. I believe he is delivering some type of speech. We know, though, fortunately, it's not in English. We don't have translation.
Of course not.
But this is being put out right now by the Syrian Ministry of Information. This is live, Hussein. Syrian President Ahmad al-Shura delivering a speech following these several days of intense clashes between Druze militiamen, Bedouin tribes, and government forces. Of course, his address coming after Israeli airstrikes targeting Damascus there, the capital. Why did Israel feel the need to get involved here? Whose side are they on, Hussein?
Sure. Whose side are they on? You mean their own side?
Well, they're mainly, number one, they're keeping Islamists away from their borders. So these radical Islamists are trying to get into this demilitarized zone. And Israel has an interest in keeping them away from its fence and from its borders and from its citizens. Number two, I think we have a problem with Ahmad Shara, the president who's now addressing the nation. This has happened in the past. 4 months ago, a similar tribal raid, the Islamists executed a similar raid against the Alawites of the coast. And Shara stood before the nation and promised an investigation. This was 4 months ago. And until today, there are not even leads. No one has been held accountable.
Okay.
So now I think, or I guess, Shara is saying the same thing. He's saying, we will bring all those responsible for massacres to justice, except that I don't think there's a lot of trust in what he says. And not many believe him when he says that these are not regular troops, because videos show that many of his troops were there. People with badges, official badges from the Syrian government, were there, were fighting, were shooting at Druze neighborhoods. So I think there's an issue of trust, or let me say mistrust, in whatever President Shara is saying at this point.
Yeah, for our viewers just coming to this right now, this is the Syrian president. He's speaking live right now in Damascus. His name, Ahmed al-Shara.
That'd be really cool if they would get a translation out.
Of course, he filled the vacuum last December after the Assad regime fell. Of course, we know his origin, his roots. He was a member, a very prominent member of one of these al-Qaeda offshoots. He somewhat shed that label to be welcomed by the international stage. Hussein, to your point, you think that effort is too little, too late, or not strong enough. And this is in Arabic. That's why you're not listening to it right now. Let's get off this right now. So I wanted to read this. This is from Tom Barak. He is the U.S. Special Envoy to Syria. Let's play more of that video from the scene today. And this is really just incredible video. Take a look at it.
So they started withdrawing, and that's why the ceasefire held. I think it'll keep on holding. But I think as the ceasefire... And
here's the, if you guys didn't see, I'm going to go ahead and post it real quick. I'm going to share the screen. I broke it yesterday of the actual footage. Shit's rough. All right, so let's go ahead and now move on into one of the main topics that I have listed on the title is 60 dead in an Iraq mall fire. This is a quick story. They don't have a lot of information if it's only 3 minutes long. But anyways, let's go ahead and figure out what's happening here.
Good morning, and thank you so much for waking up with us here on Live Now from Fox.
Yeah, and this happened 5 hours ago.
Thursday morning, July 17th. I'm Jeanne Francine here with you for
What's
the
up,
next few
Paul?
hours to give you all of your breaking
Good
news
to see
alerts,
you.
top stories, and your live events of the day.
And true.
We do begin this Friday Eve with some breaking news out of the Middle East, transitioning your screen to give you a live look this morning out in eastern Iraq. We're learning from the Associated Press this morning a fire at a newly opened mall in eastern Iraq's province killed more than 60 people, including women and children. This information being confirmed this Thursday to AP from local officials in the area. Iraq's Ministry of Interior said in a statement that at this time, 61 people died.
61 people.
Most of them from suffocation in the fire.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm sure. Look at that fucked up building. That's a mall?
Fire that broke out late Wednesday. Among the dead were 14 charred bodies that remain unidentified at this hour.
So not only, 61 confirmed, but how many injured?
Civil defense teams were able to rescue more than 45 people that were inside of the building at the time. And you can see that building on your screen. Ash remains there at this hour. The mall, which had opened only a week earlier, was in a 5-story building that also contained a restaurant and a supermarket. As I did mention, several people remain missing at this hour. We're also learning that 3 days of mourning have been declared for that area. The cause of the fire under investigation, but legal cases are being filed against the building owner and the mall owner. At this time, the specifications of the charges have not been announced. We're also learning that results of a preliminary investigation will be released within 48 hours. The Iraqi prime minister said in a statement this morning.
Real quick, we got Tiffany in the building as well. Good morning to you. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning so far, your Thirsty Thursday.
That he had directed the interior minister to go to the site of the fire to investigate and take measures to prevent a recurrence. AP goes on to report that poor building standards have often contributed to tragic fires in Iraq. If we look back to July of 2021, a blaze at a hospital in an Iraqi city killed between 60 to 92 people. And it was determined to have been fueled by highly flammable, low-cost type of, quote, sandwich panel cladding that is...
Sandwich what?
Determined to have been fueled by highly flammable, low-cost type of, quote, sandwich panel cladding that is...
I don't know what the fuck she just said right there. Let me put on the closed captions.
Illegal in that...
quote, sandwich
area.
Panel cladding. Low-cost type.
2023, more than 100 people died in a fire at a wedding hall in the predominantly Christian area of the province after the ceiling panels above a machine burst into flames.
So like not only the ceiling, but the walls and shit, because whatever their panels or whatever their shit is inside.
On this Thursday,
made by super cheap flammable shit.
Getting a live look out in eastern Iraq. If you're just now tuning in, good morning to you. As we are following the very latest from the Associated Press, breaking news this Thursday, at least 60 people have been killed in a fire at a newly opened mall in eastern Iraq's Wasit province. It's coming from local officials. We did have a feed that did show people out in that area outside of the mall, giving you that feed again now. There was another feed outside of a local hospital where people were crying, emotions were high.
Okay,
that feed
real quick, I looked it up. Cladding is a material that is applied, that is applied to the exterior and sometimes the interior surfaces of buildings or objects to provide protection, insulation, or aesthetic enhancement. It acts as a skin or an outer layer shielding the structure beneath it. That's what cladding is. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move on into one of the other main topics that we posted up here. We had multiple detained in an ICE raid at Pennsylvania supermarket 4 hours ago. So let's go ahead and bring that up. And bam.
This morning in Montgomery County, Philadelphia, ICE agents raided a business in West Norriton and took more than a dozen people into custody, including employees at the farmers market. We want to check in now with Fox 29 Philadelphia's Shayna Pereira, who joins us live this morning with the very latest. Shayna, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, certainly a difficult time here for the community in Montgomery County. This is the farmers market that we're talking about here that was sprawling with ICE agents just yesterday, not even 24 hours.
Real quick, my man, Brother Steve, hopefully you enjoy your morning and have a good doctor's appointment, man. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of it and be safe out there.
Hours ago, when this farmers market was set to open, and so many people now just reeling from the day the farmers market.
Make sure to give us an update in the Discord, my man. And by the way, if you guys haven't already joined in on the Discord, Naomi will throw a link in the chat for you guys to join up on the Discord, because that is where we continue these conversations after the show, and it's awesome. We have all the Breakfast Club in there. Big W to all of you guys. Thank you guys for all hitting the like button so far. I very much appreciate that. All right. So 14 were detained in this ICE raid in Montgomery County.
It was raided by ICE agents just yesterday morning, and yesterday afterward that we had a number of people, at least 75 members of the community, holding American flags and candles and praying for those employees that were arrested, and of course praying for the families of the detained. One woman was there that we spoke with at the raid, recording video as ICE agents, some dressed in full military gear, as they pulled into the parking lot here on West Main Street in Norriton, telling Fox 29 that at least 14 people were taken from the grocery store by ICE agents, but now we're getting reports.
It's a good question, Jason, by the way.
Up to 23 people being taken here. And just about maybe 6 weeks ago, we were in this very town, about a half mile from where I'm standing, just after Memorial Day, when ICE agents took another 25 people, leaving families destroyed, many of them telling us that the fear in their community is palpable. Take a listen.
I cannot just stand by and let this.
Oh, Jesus, here we go.
Emotional damage.
Motherfucker, if you're illegal, get the fuck out. It's simple.
Happen to people in my community.
ICE claims that they took 14. We have reports of up to 23. So we
they have nothing, no benefit if it's 23 or 14, lady. Like, that's insane.
But at least 14 people were taken from the grocery store, including one man was shopping. His wife was waiting for him in the car, and they took him.
Now, those gathered yesterday night decided the best way to fight is to stand together, to support one another, and to pray. But the fear in this largely Hispanic.
Hell yeah, that's right, Lil Paul. Absolutely, she can go with them.
Community is continuing here, and it continues to be a real thing. Now, the farmers market, the owner, released a statement in part saying that it has employed many hardworking, responsible, law-abiding members of the immigrant community for years, and it's saddened by the actions of ICE and the impact it has on those affected. We did reach.
Oh, they're illegal, and I'm so sad that they're here breaking the law actively. Just their presence breaking the law. But let's cater to people breaking the law. Idiots, man. Just a bunch of cope and emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Whatever.
Out to Immigration Customs Enforcement for comment and information. They have not gotten back to us. So certainly a story that's continuing to develop here. But really, just within the last couple of months, we can report at least up to 50 people have been taken just in this 1 mile radius from where we're standing at this farmers market in Montgomery County.
Fox 29 Philadelphia, Shayna Pereira, always a stellar job giving us the most accurate information. Thank you so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move on into our last story for the morning. Let me go ahead and update on my side. Okay, this will be the last one that we're going to be doing here. Lightning strike at New Jersey archery range leaves 1 dead and multiple injured. I saw this on social media when I woke up this morning, and I didn't actually see the footage, and I haven't seen the report yet, but I did happen to see that this was a topic of conversation in the media. And real quick, we got Brother Sick Bastard in the building. Good to see you, my man. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning so far. And we got Glare 1%er as well, saying, how does he employ law aiding if they are criminal aliens? We got Christopher Collins as well. Roll Tide. Good to see you, my man. And Good to see you, my man. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this last and final story.
7:45.
And be sticking around because we're also going to be sending you guys off to a raid. I haven't checked on who is live yet, but we'll go ahead and look right now. So, anyways.
Here on the East Coast, welcome back to Live Now from Fox. Take a look at your screen. Following some breaking news, we're learning for the second time in a
This just happened 3 hours ago. For context.
Week, a man was struck and killed by lightning in New Jersey. Last night, an archery instructor was killed teaching Boy Scouts. 13 other people were injured. We don't want to waste any time. Let's go ahead and check in with Fox 29 Philadelphia.
God damn, 13?
It's Hank Flynn. He joins us live this morning in Ocean County with the very latest. Hank, good morning. Truly disturbing to learn of this news.
Yeah, no question about it, Gina, especially one of the people that were here last night said it was relatively clear skies and no sign of any thunder whatsoever, no warning whatsoever. But I'll get back to that in a second. One of the most random things you can imagine, a bolt of lightning streaking down out of the New Jersey sky last night, hitting a tree and electrifying the entire area. More than a dozen people are hurt, many of them children, and one man is dead. The children are recovering in our area hospital now. Gina, it happened last night just after 7 here on Perrineville Road at the Black Knight Bow Benders Field Archery Club as people took target practice with bows and arrows. Most of them reported to be connected to a local Boy Scout troop. They might have been working on their archery merit badges. Gina, Jackson police identify 61-year-old Robert Montgomery as the man.
Holy shit. Lappy says there's a video going around on YouTube showing a guy fishing while standing in water and his rod got struck twice and he walked away. Wow, that's incredibly fucking lucky to be able to survive.
And who was killed, a gentleman from the archery
Even
club,
one
says the lightning bolt hit a tree that rocketed down that tree and caused.
I don't know. They haven't given that specific detail yet.
There's a ton of chaos. Governor Phil Murphy got word tweeting out a summary of what happened and certainly prayers for the families. And as many as 8 of the others hit are said to be from that Boy Scout troop. Again, Gina, they are recovering in an area hospital from things like burns and possibly a concussion or 2. Now, close to a dozen people, as you said coming into this, Gina, close to a dozen people, I think, have been hit by lightning nationwide over the course of this year. But as always with the Garden State lightning strikes twice in New Jersey in the course of 1 week. Although the other one, besides this one, was up in Sussex County, northern New Jersey, probably about 100 miles from where we stand, when a golfer who was out on the course was struck and killed by a bolt of lightning. There was a National Weather Service severe thunderstorm warning that went through the cell phones of everyone in the area, certainly the people that were at this archery range 15 minutes before the...
Damn, Rob's neighbor. That's fucking crazy.
Bolt of lightning struck. That's apparently, Gina, why you got to take these warnings seriously. If you hear the thunder or the lightning, they said they didn't hear a thing, you got to get inside, even with just a cell phone warning. Be cautious. Gina.
Man, that's brutal.
Yeah, absolutely. Fox 29 Philadelphia's Hank Flynn, always bringing us the most accurate and up-to-date breaking news.
So, Marilyn, hopefully you're enjoying your Thursday morning.
Hank, thank you so much. As far as where this happened, any word from the owners that maybe they're going to close the facility today, in honor of those who, are impacted?
Well, nothing from what we have from the spokesman that came out last night, although I don't know what activities he would have had planned for a Thursday when the weather's a little bit mixed here in New Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, what were they doing out there, man?
That they're going to close.
Obviously, they're going down range on the range, but I don't know, man. It looks... If it was that bad of weather, why are you guys even out there?
The facility for today, but I'm not really sure how busy it would have been. They've been here since the late 1950s. It's a long-running place. Never had any safety concerns, and a lightning bolt can strike from anywhere, I suppose. But it certainly wouldn't be unusual for them to close the place for the day in memoriam.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, praying for those involved. Hank, always a great job. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys stick around for the raid. We're going to be raiding our buddy Chaotic Truth. But I very much appreciate everyone's engagement here, making sure you guys hit the like button. It goes a long way, man. I don't ask you guys to send in cash, but I do ask you guys to hit that like button. And your laborious work does not go unnoticed. So, with that being said, I very much appreciate every single one of you guys for making this very shit happen. I'm very appreciative. And we'll be back tomorrow morning for more of the world's madness as we continue on day by day. Always appreciate every one of you guys. God bless everyone.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning.